Hello, everybody. This is our second awards training. Um, this time we will be talking about how to write amazing awards to get us the blue banner. As an overview, winning awards requires some well-written responses, usually in the form of paragraphs or essays. Good awards generally show strong impact, innovation, and sustainability. These are topics and specific attributes that the judges really want to see in your team, whether it is, you know, a judges award or the entrepreneurship award, outstanding mentor. They really want you to exhibit good qualities and show your impact through other forms. For example, you could open up a camp for young middle schoolers, or um, providing a service for another team to stimulate cooperation, for example. And so um, the first thing that might come to mind when thinking about we're talking about awards is you know, you might think of this as an English essay, but the big difference is this is not an essay where you, for example, analyze characters in an English class. Instead, the main objective is to describe your team's achievements and accomplishments. So always have them reviewed by a mentor or another member to catch grammar mistakes or inconsistent flows in the writing, or your award response whether your award response answered the question or not. Mentors usually have lots of experience in, whether it's writing grants or writing other forms of reports, especially in their work, and they are definitely a um, resourceful mentors to go seek help for writing these awards. And writing robotics award essays is very similar to writing college applications. So you can think of this as each team being an individual applicant, and the awards are like the colleges. And um, for those judges, they will basically be like the admissions officers. So if they read your responses and they really liked those responses, they felt that those responses really exhibit the qualities that they were looking for in a specific award, then they will select the recipient for the award. Um, yes. So awards is a more qualitative than technical sub-team. We mainly focus on our impact on the community and our outreach as opposed to the technical stuff, but there are also technical awards. These awards are awards that pertain to the technical aspects of the robot, which are done through the hardware sub-teams. And what we're mainly going to focus on today is the submission of the submitted awards that could be submitted and applied for. There are many, many awards that exist. However, some of them are based on, for example, robot performance or highest seeded rookie. But today we're going to look at the ones, specifically the ones that you can apply for. To write good awards, so you will need the following. The first thing is statistics. You always want to keep track of numbers in your outreach events, and greater numbers is equal to greater impact. Generally, the awards really want to see how you describe your impact. For example, if you opened up a camp and it reached 100 kids, then it is considered to be of larger impact. Or you can also expand the scope of your event by promoting it to regions outside of our current one, like, for example, in another state or maybe even in another country. So, statistics are always a great way to keep track of how many people the outreach event reached, and That way, the judges understand the context of this particular event or phenomenon, and also how impactful it was. And always, the greater the impact, the better. You also need a good amount of time for writing those awards. Do not procrastinate those to the last minute. Awards usually take a while to write. At first, you might think it's a little easy to write, but you definitely need to have time to edit it and refine it before submission. As always, there are several questions in every award package that you applied for, and if you, for example, procrastinate them all to the week before, then that's not a good idea. Let's say, and if you had a couple weeks, for example, maybe each week you can work on it a certain amount of time, and that way, ahead of time, you can ask questions to the specific people that know about the certain topics. For example, if you have a question to a mentor or a question to another peer who is an expert in a specific area, getting the question answered as soon as possible is better, because if you're rushing to the last minute and in case they're also very busy, they might not get around to your question. So it is always a good idea to write these ahead of time, just like how you would for your homework. Guidance. So if you don't know how to write the award, that is completely okay. In fact, you do not need any prior experience to be on this team. But if you're unsure how to write it, you can feel free to ask Ms. Khan or another mentor. Like I said, these mentors have lots of experience in writing reports of all sorts in the workforce, and they definitely apply to robotics as well. And you will eventually be tasked to do these things later on in life, whether you want to write statements of agreement or you want to write grant proposals, then this is a great way to this is a great way to practice. And finally, you will need specialists. Sometimes even I do not know the answer to everything, so I delegate a few awards questions to other sub-team leads or sometimes even mentors. So basically, for example, I delegated questions about finance and sponsors to our treasurer or finance lead, who knows more about our sponsorship relationships as well as how we met them in the first place and how much money we obtained. And we also gave questions about branding and promotion to our media lead and team structure to the president or vice president, who have great understandings of how this team works, how it's structured, and yeah. So if you're writing an award, yeah, feel free to seek help, whether it's from a mentor or from a specific area or a specialist in a specific area, then feel free to. They'll be very happy to answer your question. And that way, having that clarity is better because you will not be at the risk of misinformation when you write the award. A couple examples of outreach events we've done. And I'm going to show this to you because these are very notable events that we've done that we have mentioned in our award responses because they've had great impact and were for the good of our community. So the first was STEM camps. We held several STEM camps for young children to get interested in technology early on. Like, for example, this summer we held the FLL summer camp. It was a couple weeks long, and we had kids create amazing projects as well as have many building challenges to really stimulate their creativity and problem solving. We also had Arduino classes where the Arduino kit was taught to children how to use them, how to create, LEDs, temperature sensors, or maybe even cool sound sensing gadgets. And for those of you who don't know, The Arduino is basically a beginner level kit for students to learn the basics of electrical engineering, creating basic circuits and um, basic electricity concepts. And you can do a lot with the Arduino. So, and also, I had the privilege to teach two Code Foundations coding workshops this past summer. These Code Foundations coding workshops were an effort to get kids interested in coding early on so that when they join our team, there's specifically the software sub team, they feel more confident that they have the skills to succeed. And our Code Foundations coding workshops really focus on the applications of code to robot code, which is a little bit different compared to conventional code. But yeah, these are the examples of STEM camps that we've hosted for children. We've also done weekly visits to the Campbell Farmers Market where we wanted to promote our brand, promote our team, what we did, what we do, um, what things we offer. And it's a great way to get to spread STEM awareness to our community at a larger scale. And yeah, it's been great. Great America STEM Day, it is similar to the Campbell Farmers Market. We also did that to spread STEM. Same for the Stanford Hospital fundraisers. And we've also, especially around before at the beginning of summer, we held middle school visits, middle school outreach. And middle school outreach is a great way to get new rookies on the team, especially whether it's sixth, seventh, or eighth graders. Yes, your primary target would be eighth graders, but sixth and seventh graders, if you get them interested early on, they will continue to partake in activities related to STEM. And when they get to Prospect, they will probably remember how impactful of an outreach that we made at their school. So we've done a couple middle school visits. We went to EDS, Latimer, MMS, and DCS to promote our team. And generally, that has been the main reason why our numbers have soared. Ever since we began the middle school outreach, we've had lots of people wanting to join. Career panels. So career panels was a series of panels where mentors and alumni talk about their career and what they're currently doing. And it's a way to help students discover certain career paths or find out a certain life advice that the panelists give. For example, at first, a student might think that they are set to go down a specific path, but then some mentors have said that it's always good to explore your options, explore your passions, and maybe even combine some. Like, for example, there was a mentor that was talking about how he enjoyed being a lawyer and also enjoyed technology. And so he pursued a career that combined the two. And we've held two WRF workshops at the Notre Dame High School WRF workshop last time. And that was to help our community, especially other teams, learn more about how to really present their team in a way to qualify for those awards. So yeah, these are all the outreach events we have done, and that can definitely help us formulate our award responses. There might be a few outreach events that are not directly listed here, but these are the main ones that we have mentioned and have greater impact with. Some unique aspects of our team. So we are inclusive to all members regardless of background, skill, or experience. In fact, that is our mission statement. So some teams actually have a selection process for members, and our team enjoys being a inclusive team we really enjoy giving any rookie a chance to learn, regardless of their prior knowledge or experience or background. And it has really given a great impact to our rookies and good influence for them when they become leaders on our team. We are student led, meaning that the the mentors are mainly here to facilitate what we do and um, aid us in our journey and development. And the students are mainly responsible for guiding the rookies in their specific sub team. And every student has the chance to become a leader, even if not specifically assigned to a lead or board position. As mentioned gearheads in our gearheads roles and responsibilities sheet, it is a sheet that basically describes the responsibilities and roles of the team. Students do not need to be in a lead or board position to have power and step up to become a leader. In fact, we highly encourage that rookies take on some form of leadership because as they get more experience in the team, they can also pass on their knowledge to other rookies in good ways. And also, we've had some rookie projects and other sorts of projects. Like, for example, our team created snowflakes with 2A13 and other CNC projects aside from just the robot. And projects are a great way to figure out, how to use a certain tool or, how to write a certain award for the specific cause and how to apply it when we do it during build season. So yeah, I've touched upon a couple unique aspects of our team because the judges really want to find out about that and how we stand out from other teams. And there are definitely more to this list that you could add. This is an example question and response for one of the past awards we've had. So the question is, describe the impact of the WRF or FIRST program on our community within the last 3 to 5 years. And you only have a maximum of 500 characters to write this response. So through participation in WRF, our outreach team has met with other teams and learned about events they hosted for the community, which inspired us to come up with more outreach events for our community, such as our outreach Arduino classes, farmers market event, and Code Foundation's Java Camp. In addition, the FIRST program has impacted our community by giving elementary, middle, and high school students a chance to explore the broad possibilities of technology and see its use in everyday life. So for this award response, let me next slide. So this is the analysis. So first and foremost, you make sure that you actually answer the question. There are a lot of things that you could potentially talk about in the awards responses that could make your team look good or really show how good you are, and really just stick to the answer. Only include supporting information that could help you convey your answer to the question. Don't go off on a tangent when you write those. So there are some things that are tempting to write, but only write it if it helps to support your main answer. For example, giving concrete examples about leadership and impact. Think about who you should talk to help with this response. Now, I also covered this a couple slides ago, but let's say, for example, you are given a question about, let's say, finance, something related to sponsors or how your team manages money and how what your team does with the money. Then it would be a good idea to reach out to the finance lead or the treasurer to learn more about this and get relevant information to support your response. Another question you could ask for yourself for that specific response, let me go back to it. So describe the impact of the WRF first program on our community within the last 3 to 5 years. So think about, how has WRF impacted our team? So first, you always want to start out every award response with brainstorming, a good amount of brainstorming. So something I can think of is that WRF has, first off, it has inspired our team to host workshops such as the Code Foundations Camp, and even even create our own WRF workshop at the WRF event. So it has really pushed us to um, show how students can become leaders, as well as how much expertise that they get is shared for us. And through the value of cooperation in WRF, the other teams have really helped us gain a better understanding of, other perspectives of teams. For example, one team might have a specific strategy or method that they know of that can lead them to success, whether it is obtaining the specific award or winning at competitions. And so those WRF teams really bring teams together and really give members a chance to share perspectives and discover other ways um, to improve or find a new method to get closer towards success. And lastly, is the flow of our ideas succinct? So you can definitely talk about many, many things in those awards, but you want to talk about the relevant things in the specific word limit. Sometimes you'll be 500 characters max, or 1,000 words max, or just there will be definitely varying lengths of responses. And generally, you want to use the whole length that they give you so that you can talk as much about like the good qualities of the team. Now, obviously, it is quality over quantity, but you can, if you have the chance to add more um, aspects of quality in your response, then that is better. So going back to this response, um, first off, it answers the question, and second, it is clear. It is not ambiguous or going off a tangent. We are still on the topic of WRF and first, and also, um, what else? The flow of ideas succinct. So we are still on the idea of, how WRF and first impacted us. And so we transitioned from the WRF to the impact to the first impact. And they kind of um they kind of act as complements to each other, and they're very close in nature. So yeah, these ideas are succinct. All right. So, what not to do when writing award responses? There are lots of things that you can do to make your response good, but what are some things that you should look out for before you submit your award apps? First off, do not write emotionally charged responses because they can be misinterpreted. Um, they could, they might not represent the best qualities of your team, and it might distract the judges from uh, finding the specific criteria that they see in your award. And it is not really a good way to write your award response. You want to be, in a good mood. You want to talk about it in a positive manner, and you don't want to really talk about things in a negative connotation. Humor is not a necessary component. Now, you do not need to make an effort to try to get the judges to laugh. That is not the main point. this is supposed to be, this is supposed to be very solemn, not, overly showy or like not to try to be a showstopper. Just you really want to talk about, your impact and other things that can help craft the response. Staying off topic or going on a tangent is not good for those award responses because, yeah, you want to first off answer the question, but also you need to provide concrete examples to back it up. You don't want to keep talking and talking and rambling about, oh, our team did that, our team did this, we're really good at that or something. And instead of doing that, you should really focus on a few things and expand on them. Do not make up anything in your responses. You might be really tempted to create an imaginary event that to talk about in those responses, or really just fake the response or create something to look good. Now, first off, that does not represent the first values of gracious professionalism. You don't want to really, let's say, for example, you do win the award with that. Then that is not true gracious professionalism because you did not truly put the effort to create that degree of impact in our community. And it just doesn't feel like when you even if you get the award, having made up the response, it just doesn't feel like it was legitimate. So don't make up anything. And lastly, I did not write it on there, but I just want to address this. Do not be arrogant or pretentious in these responses. You don't want to say that, oh, our team is the best, or we've done really good stuff, therefore we should get this award, or we are better than other teams. Just stay as graciously professional as possible when you write those awards. And of course, make sure you have them reviewed so that any of those things are removed from your responses prior to submission. So I want you to try to write your own award, and the prompt is explain how your team has exhibited the first valid cooperation in and out of the community. Now, I'm not sure if this is a official official question. I actually made this up myself, but it is somewhat related to some of the past questions. And so take around 10 minutes to brainstorm ideas or responses. Actually, you can ignore the time. So you really want to brainstorm ideas or responses. First, always start with brainstorming, writing down a couple notes and um, discard, creating more ideas, scrapping ideas that are not much of use, and then develop a response from that. So pause this video and give this a try. Okay, we are back. So yeah, I hope that went well for you, and definitely share it with me once you're done. I can provide constructive feedback. Provide feedback for this response. So this was one of our past responses to a question. So marketing, how do you get your team or brand out there? So there are 500 characters max. We get our brand out there through social media and outreach events. We collaborate with our school to ensure our accomplishments are being recognized through our high school's daily bulletin. We have recruited about 20% of our team members and mentors with the help of our social media accounts, as well as distributing business cards at outreach events and competitions. We devise specific fonts and colors of 2813 to make sure visitors can distinguish us from fellow teams. So think about some things that you could possibly edit about this award. So pause the video and look at this. All right, we are back. So the first thing that I'm looking at the first line. So we get our brand there, our brand out there. So that is a good thing, but like the first couple words, but these aren't very necessary because having words, for example, repeating the question in the beginning of your response, it may take away certain characters where you could really expand on another idea more. So really conserve your your space in the award response and don't really write anything that is not of much relevance. Write things that are of relevance. Um, Generally, if you want to save up space for your award, if you have too many characters, you want to generally remove things that do not really help support your main response. So we collaborate with our school to ensure accomplishments are being recognized through our school's daily bulletin. Yes, that does answer the question. That is a good point there. We have recruited around 20% of our team members and mentors with the help of our social media accounts, as well as distributing business cards and outreach events and competition. Again, that is another example that we've given to get our team or brand out there. And we devised the last part. So the last part, we devised specific fonts and colors 2813 to make sure visitors can distinguish us from fellow teams. So that is also related. That's also another example of this response. I was not really sure whether devising specific fonts or colors would really get them out there as opposed to, promoting more and doing that. And something I do want to also discuss is that we've gotten our team or brand out there through our career panels and our outreach events. So yeah. So whenever you edit awards responses, always include the good parts and parts to improve. Now, no award is perfect. Even if it might be perfect in your eyes, it might not be for a judge. And so these awards are in a way they are subjectively evaluated, but they really want you to show how your team was especially passionate about what you do and your impact and your processes, like how you do things. So a couple key takeaways. These awards are competitive to obtain. So make sure you give it your all and write your responses in the best way possible. And there are also external awards such as SweNext Awards and KLA Robo Games Awards that was unfortunately discontinued this past year. Um, there are also external awards that you can apply for. Even if we don't get a official award in the years to come, you can still get other forms of awards like a SweNext and KLA Robo Games Awards. These awards will also um, increase your publicity especially among those groups and show more achievement. And lastly, don't be afraid to seek help from mentors. Mentors are a great resource for providing feedback on written responses, especially with their experience with it in the workforce, and also other peers. You can reach out to me, you can reach out to our outreach lead or other peers or even specialists to ensure how accurate your information is and how well it was presented in the award. Yeah, so this is your homework. So go to this link and go to the submitted awards category and choose any submitted award from the list and select any question to answer. And I want you to send it to me through DMs and I'll provide constructive feedback. And ideally, I want you to first brainstorm your ideas and also create a response based off of the brainstorming. So yeah, this should not take too much time. I'm just asking you to choose one question from any submitted award. You can choose any of your choice. even if it's something that you are very familiar with, yeah, definitely go for it. But yeah, that concludes our second award meeting for the 2022 to 23 season. And we have Thanksgiving break next week, so we won't have class then. But the week after Thanksgiving, we will go over our final training meeting, which we'll be discussing interviewing with judges. Thank you very much for watching this and have a great day.